But that's the beauty of traditionalism today. Like, I don't have a problem with the word submission because I want to submit to my man. I want to yield to him, especially being that he will be the provider, the breadwinner. It's a lot of work to be a provider, and a lot of single women can attest to that. You take on a lot of the responsibility and accountability for your entire household, whether you have children or not. It's on you. And I would prefer not to. So I would prefer to put that on my husband, and I show him appreciation by being yielding and submissive and agreeable and getting on his program. But a lot of women can't stomach that mindset, and I say, you're going to get me in trouble, because here I am agreeing with that with men, and it comes across as misogynistic. Ooh. And yeah, and he said they're masculine, but when you are working, you do require masculine traits. You require to use the left side of your brain. I have to do that in my business. Like, right. I have to take lead. I have to be very productive, and I have to. There's some things that I just have to do that make, I have to be aggressive with clients at times. Like, I have to be very, not aggressive, but very assertive, because I have a business that has to take care of my household, take care of my family, right? Take care of myself. And so if you are doing that and you don't understand that, okay, I have to be masculine in this regard, but I need to make sure that I'm protecting my femininity and operating mostly in my feminine energy, then you're going to start operating predominantly in masculine energy. And it is going to be hard for you to cooperate with a man, because now you're in competition with him.
So let's talk about that.
Talking to him and dealing with him.
So let's talk about that, the competition, right? I imagine the competition comes often with career women, right? So what are your thoughts on the idea that a woman goes to school, gets her education, starts making her own money, and starts grinding and starts making, just as much money, if not more money, than the men that she's encountering today? Do you feel that a traditional relationship is possible in today's environment, where those are the types of humans that exist in the dating pool?
Well, it's not her getting an education that's the problem, because men like intelligent women.
Well, it's not about the intelligence. I agree with you. I think the question is more so the sacrifice that women are making for themselves after now, leaving school with the education, also working hard, getting into their careers and being self-sufficient. But then you're asking for a very traditional relationship where she's being dependent mostly on the guy. Do you feel like in today's environment, it's a reasonable ask for women to revert to the traditional way, despite the fact that they elevate themselves in this particular way?
That explains your question in my Clubhouse room earlier.
Did you? Well, this ain't Clubhouse, girl.
I knew you asked that. I said, I bet you there's a different reason. There's a real reason behind that. I'm not going to speak to whether or not it's reasonable. See, Jeff, you're trying to get me in trouble. I'm not going to speak to whether or not it's reasonable, but I will say that they are pricing themselves out of the dating market. Ooh. Because the more successful a woman becomes, the more likely she's going to want a man at that level or higher. And those men have a really broad range of options, and you're limiting your dating pool when you do that. You are severely limiting, because there's only approximately 10% of men in the United States of America that makes over 100K or more.
Trill, how do you feel about that?
Which part?
The part in regards to her thoughts on what happens when women elevate themselves with their education and money prior to settling down or finding the right person to settle down with.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it makes them. It sounds crazy, but it makes them less desirable. It does.
Damn.
Because, like I said, en route to getting that type of status, what type of mindset do you develop, right? And it's one of control. It's one of, okay, I feel like I'm, just like she said, it's 10% of men that make that. So I'm pretty sure it's even less women who make that. So if I am making that, then it's like, okay, I feel like not only am I at your level, but I'm kind of above you in a sense. Like that's the mindset. Even if you don't say it blatantly, it's subconsciously, right? So if I'm dating somebody, a man that makes less than me, I'm not gonna submit to him. I'm not gonna necessarily follow his lead. I'm gonna kind of challenge everything. I'm gonna be very, very, very combative. I'm gonna be like, wait, are you sure that we turn left right here? Because no, in my experience, it said turn right, and then we come make a loop. So it's that type of thing. And men that are in that type of percentage are not trying to deal with that. Those men want easy. Those men want, agreeable. Not necessarily just bow to everything I say, but don't combat every issue that comes up. And I think that's a hard, thing to break for those women. I would equate it to, like, say somebody going off, to a war for 20 years. And if I'm going off to war, like what it takes to survive out there is a lot. I have to do a lot of training. I have to do a lot of, shooting and tactical skills and things of that nature. I might have killed a few people and all type of things. And then I get back to society and it's like, okay, go sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. It's going to be a transition. Is it possible? Sure. But, those instincts are going to still be there. So, to equate that to women, when they go off and get these, masters and PhDs, and I get high up in this corporate company, and because again, just like we spoke about masculinity earlier, a lot of women, especially in corporate world, you have to be damn near more masculine than the man for those men to respect you. So, and a lot of women just have issues turning that off when they get home. So to answer that question, it would make her less desirable, ironically.
I kind of, I feel like these questions are just making me sweat.
Where are these questions coming from?
I don't know. It's not coming from Wikipedia. I'll tell you that much. Here's what I'll say though. I hear what you guys are both saying, but I have a different mindset, right? So I think what happens a lot, right? There are a large population of women, yes, that when they get, a lot of good education, they get a lot of good careers and income, which I think they're all great things in some way, shape, or form. But yes, it does come with the caveat of sometimes it comes with an energy of this go-getter energy that can be very masculine to a lot of men. But I think it's very false to expect that just because a woman makes money, just because she has a good degree, that she's automatically disqualified, because there are women, and I know Trill's going to say, well, I'm playing percentages. I get it. There are women who have degrees, who have education and careers, but they have values that are deeper than their career, right? So I think some men, they see a woman that makes a lot of money and they run off scared before they even get to know her, right? And I think that men fall into that trap because of the stigma that comes with, or if your woman makes more money than you, then she's going to treat you like a little biatch, for lack of a better word. I'm trying not to curse, but it just be coming out. So what are your thoughts on that, LeTisha?
I don't think men are intimidated by women's success. Not men at that caliber. They're not intimidated.
So if a man makes less of that caliber, whatever caliber, because we're going to get into what caliber you're referring to, a man of the caliber that you might be referring to that makes a decent amount of money, if he comes across a woman that makes more than him or is more educated than him, do you feel like he doesn't care?
No, I think at that level, if he's coming across a woman, let's say he makes slightly above average, which is about 41,000 in America, about 40 something, less than 50,000.
The new average is, I think, 50 something, 50 to 60 something. Inflation.
No,
What?
It's less than 50.
Like 42, 43, somewhere around.
I looked it up the other day. Am I bugging?
You're bugging.
Oh, wait. Are you talking individual or are you talking household?
I'm talking individually.
Oh, my bad. I looked up household. I looked
Yeah,
up
you
household.
can't look up household. We talk about single people.
Okay, my bad. My Googles is messed up. Dang. Yeah, I looked up household.
A hell of a jump.
Oh,
It's like, listen,
man.
you see these gas prices? It needs to jump, okay?
But yeah, the average income is less than 50,000 for individuals. So if you have a man who is making about 40 something thousand, he does not have a degree. And he comes across a woman who has a master's and she's making 80,000.
Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be an intimidation factor there. He's going to feel self-conscious. He's going to feel a little insecure in trying to date her because her lifestyle is well above his.
Okay. But what about, so let's talk about the guy who is carrying accolades, who is carrying a decent income, but the woman that he comes across is still higher than him. Do you feel like he's going to feel some type of way?
Depends on how much higher. I mean, you think ASAP Rocky cares that he's a couple million, he's worth a couple million and Rihanna's a billionaire?
I don't like to reference celebrities. Celebrities have a whole different like lifestyle and life choices.
Like I have a client who I ended up matching with a woman whose he's a millionaire himself. And I matched him with a woman whose net worth was slightly higher than hers, slightly higher than his. She's a PhD and he didn't finish college. So, and it works. I don't really think at that level, money is an issue because the lifestyles are going to be similar. Millionaires lifestyle, when you're in unless you're like 100,000, 100 plus million and you're dealing with somebody worth 2 million, the lifestyle is going to be different. But if you're dealing with someone, he's worth $1 million and she's worth 3 million or maybe a 10 million, the lifestyle is not going to be that much different. So at that point, he's just looking to see if your money is going to cause you to be combative or disagreeable. Like, can I still be the man and lead in this regard? And those women at that level, they tend to understand how small the dating pool is. They really get the fact that they can't be that picky and that choosy. So they tend to, especially as they get older, they tend to modulate their behavior on their own and understand that I'm just going to let a man be a man, regardless if I'm the breadwinner or not.
Sure. How you feel about that?
I would agree. I would agree 1,000%. I think, I feel like that is the case. But at the same time, I guess I kind of agree. But at the same time, like knowing the mindset of a man, like men are just naturally competitive. We have been socially conditioned to make more money than our woman. That's just what it is. Now, and she has to be like a very, very, very special woman for that man to walk into a situation where she's making even, we could use regular people example. If he's at 50 and she's at 65, 70, a lot of men will still be a little hesitant walking into that, So it's like, men have been kind of socially conditioned. And then once we start catching feelings for her and we get into it, then of course none of that really matters. But we're talking about like an initial approach. A woman that's making more than a man tends to kind of, raise his ears up. So I mean, but at the same time, I would agree in terms of what she's saying. Like people that's at millionaire status, 1 million compared to 10 million, that's not life altering money. Like we still gonna take the same trips, we still gonna drive the same car, we still gonna, so that type of thing. But I feel like overall, that is a bit of a hesitation factor, I would say.
So, LeTisha, given what he said, right? Let's use regular people money because we went from one extreme to another, below 40,000 and then 3 million. You know what I mean? So we gotta have a different like lens here. So let's look at a situation where a woman's making like $65,000 a year, right? Man's making $65,000 a year also, right? Some people would say they're even or they're match. I don't know. It's just a numbers game to me. But as a traditional relationship advocate, are you proposing that woman quits her job and let the man lead financially and be a stay-at-home wife at $65,000 a year?
Yes, I would. I mean, when I get remarried, I'm giving up my business and I'm going to, the thing about traditionalism, it's not about convenience, right? You don't just, you're traditional because you want all the benefits that come with chivalry, essentially. No, I have a heart to serve my husband. And I'm only working because I'm single. So it serves a purpose, not because I'm trying to maintain an independence, but because I'm divorced and I'm single. And I like nice things. So I'm working right now for those things. So if you are truly traditional, there's not going to be a matter of or a problem that you're going to give up your career, your job. Plenty of women have done it to take care of their home and their children and their husbands, because that's where their heart is. Their heart is to serve their husbands and their families and not be in the workforce.
Trill, how you feel about that? You had a reaction there.
I was shocked when she said that she would give up her business, because her mindset is not like most women today. I think most women will come into a situation, for one, here's $65,000 and say that's not enough to take care of 2 people or 3, 4 people, depending on you got kids, especially in this era, depending on where you living at. So a lot of women walk into that and be like, nah, I'm gonna keep working. And then once you make some more money, I feel like you get to a comfortable level, then we can do it. But I mean, my question for LeTisha is, she just said, like, I like nice things. And when you tie yourself to somebody that's making $65,000 with no other income at all, those nice things are gonna go away. So how hard of a transition would that be for you to make on a scale of 1 to 10, and why?
I like nice things, but I like them within reason. But I want to be married more than I like nice things. So I'll find a way to make it work. I mean, you can get stuff on consignment. You can resell shops. It may not be the latest season, but plus, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. So I've always been able to have nice things without having to spend an exorbitant amount of money for those nice things. So,
all right, so that's the part that's kind of throwing me, like, because even though you didn't grow up with a silver spoon, you have worked extremely hard to get where you are. I mean, I don't even have to know you to know that. If you're running a business by yourself, you've definitely worked hard to get there. So I guess it's just kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around getting rid of everything I built completely to live a less, I don't know. But I guess it's not quality. It kind of ties to where your values are. And if your values are serving your man, which I think is where the disconnect between you and most women in this generation is, their values are not serving their man. In most relationships in this era, their man are a box to check off on that list, but not necessarily serving him. Most women go into a situation like, what can the man do for me? So for you to have that mindset, I guess that's where the confusion comes in at. But I mean, I can't say that she's wrong. I'm just shocked by it, to be honest.
I get that a lot. Most men are like, I've never met a woman like you, or a woman saying these things, but I have worked hard. I worked very hard, and I have been faced with that choice. So mostly I date men who are very successful, but I was faced with the choice. Would you give it up if all you had to choose from was from men who made $65,000, or you would maintain your singleness and you would have the lifestyle you have now? Oh, I give it up in a heartbeat.
Well, it's not about maintaining your singleness. No.
No, but it's not about maintaining my singleness, but if that's all that I could choose from when it comes to the men, right? It's a hypothetical.
Okay.
To see where someone's value truly lies. If all there was for me to choose, for me to get married, the men made $65,000, right? My lifestyle is significantly higher than that.
Yeah.
Would I give everything up to marry a man who is making $65,000? Yes, because I desire marriage above me having this luxurious lifestyle that I have.
Interesting.